Hello, it's your boy, Sergeant Hooked Intentions. We were talking about Kamen Rider Revice episode. Where are we at? 35, 36, somewhere around there. We're in the 30s, I know that. Whatever. The title will say it right up there. See this title? So it says blah 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 episode blah. And you guys know, and I'm just a dummy. um, this week's episode was pretty good. I have some things near the end I want to talk about concerning Daiji. But overall, pretty good episode. Main plot of it has to do with Tamaki and Hana. Hana mentions that she wants to be more involved with Weekend, as does Tamaki. And that she wants to be able to fight. There's a part at the beginning where Sakura is, as you know, transformed as Jean is fighting Veil, and kind of gets her butt kicked a little bit. And yeah, and Hana says she wants to be able to help, and they're talking at the Weekend base before this happens, and Tamaki says, well, you know, you can't really do that, Hana, like, we're still human, which is weird that he says that because they're both human now. They both own their demon power, so it's like, I need the whole thing to stop where it's like, it's a pretty girl that I need to protect. She's too weak on her own, so I have to do it. Like, I know that's not what they're going for, but it gets a little annoying when he consistently is like, I'll be the one to protect you. It's like, she can protect herself. Same thing with the goofy dude from the Haruka guy that's now demons. Is like, why, dude? Like, she got it. So they give Tamaki the what they call the weekend driver, which in the subtitles I saw, it's stylized as weak space end driver. So I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be stylized or if it's just weekend driver, you know, together, or if it's weak end driver. Like, anyway, either way, it's a cool name. It's just a repaint of the Libero driver with the one flap that comes down looking like kind of like honeycomb, like dripping honeycomb. It's kind of cool. So that was really interesting. The design of it, and they give him like the buffalo stamp, and so they send him out and with Sakura and Hana. And Sakura tries to fight Veil, gets her butt kicked, and she's actually about he's about to hurt Hana, who's trying to stop the monster as well, but she has no power anymore, clearly. And Tamaki gets in the way, and of course he gets his butt kicked, and he takes Tamaki captive. And so they're trying to figure out where he's at. Come to find out, they thought ahead. It was part of their plan. They set it up this way to trick Veil, and they put a tracker on his driver, on the weekend driver. At the same time as this, Daiji's still trying to do his thing with Phoenix and blah blah blah. I don't really know what they're doing with Daiji right now. I'm kind of getting tired of him consistently getting his ass beat in every episode. I don't know what the point was of giving him Holy Live when it's just as weak as every other fucking form that he has right now. It kind of bothers me. The 30s have been a little rough for Revice, I will say that. Hopefully near the end it can pick up and be a little bit better. I'm kind of honestly hoping for a Kagero return at this point. But right now the 30s have been kind of rough for Revice. I don't hate it because of that. But I still want better, want more for it, I guess you could say. So yeah, so that happens. And so Ikki, Sakura, and Vice go out to find Tamaki. They find Tamaki and Veil, and Veil's like, I see, and blah blah blah, and you know, trying to, you know, be a dickhead. And Tamaki's like, you know, there was a tracker on the you know, henshin device and blah blah blah. Ikki and Vice and Sakura transform. They're getting their butts kicked. They fight Veil. And for some reason, I get the reason is to show off the toys. But to me, it's really annoying sometimes in a Rider show where they constantly are using their weak stuff. Like they have like one of the strongest ones they've ever had. Like in this one, they have Thundergale, which does decently well against Veil usually. But they're still using the other Vice stamps that are weaker in comparison, which bothers me. It's different when they like upgrade those other forms to like have some other, like when like Emu did the whole thing where he could like hack to like, you know, save somebody from the game virus, the Bugster virus or whatever. That's different. That's not what they're doing. He's just like using the other stamps. And even Veil says, you guys do this every time we fight. Like, I kick your ass every time. I have the power of the Vice stamps. Why are you using them again? And Ikki instantly goes right into Thunder Gale right after that, which is good. I don't think Sakura used her scythe, which bothers me. But anyway, so they fight, and they're still kind of getting, you know, pushed back or whatever. He ends up using, I think that's what happens, because Tamaki uses the driver. He tries to transform, right? And he has the buffalo stamp. He's like, Henshin! He's all wacky with it, and he tries to do it, and he goes, huh? And the camera pans over, and his hand is empty, and the stamp is in Veil's hand. He takes it, and he's like, I clearly saw that coming, that you're going to transform. I saw your giant pack with the driver on, which is understandable. It's like, how is he going to conceal that? I get that some people just pull the drivers out of the nothing space, but it's like, come on, Tamaki. So he takes the stamp, uses it on himself, has that power, the Buffalo stamp power as well. Ends up knocking what's his name out of transformation. Um, or no, is it him that does it? No, that's not what does it. I'm sorry. There's a point where Ikki is fighting Akemi, the one lady that they somehow care about out of nowhere, even though she was introduced really late, never talked about in the beginning, but now they really care about her and want to save her. I get wanting to save human lives, but they act like she's been there the whole show. Anyway, so he fights her and he wants to separate her from her demon form. He tries to with the kick, the rider kick with the Thundergale form. And it doesn't separate her, but it knocks her out of like being controlled by the demon, basically, by the form that she's in. She because Akaishi used it looked like a phoenix stamp to make the GIF juniors, the like henchmen, and have her come out as well. And so she in this weird goofy effect where there's this kind of like a view screen magic portal thing above its face. It shows Akemi and she's like, Ikki, I don't have long. If you want to defeat GIF, you'll have to use, or she says, if you'll have to use the power of GIF to defeat GIF. So I like that. I think that's kind of cool that they're insinuating that maybe the final form will have to utilize some of the power of Gifu to be able to defeat him. And Gifu definitely is feeling more along the lines of a force of nature villain than an actual villain with dialogue. I think they're more delegating that to the Dead Man's at one point, and now they're done to Akaishi. But Gifu just seems more like a force of nature they're trying to stop than anything else. But anyway, so he hears that, and then she goes back to normal, being a monster, and knocked him out of his form, and whatever. So they're all doing their fighting together, and it's like, oh god, what's gonna happen? Tamaki's trying to fight, and or trying to transform, doesn't work. They'll take the stamp, uses it on himself, goes to hit him, and or goes to is gonna go attack him, and Hana picks up the driver, puts it on, and pulls out the Queen Bee stamp, reveals that she was also being tested by Weekend. They told Tamaki, you'll need to be tested to be able to be part of our group, blah, blah, blah. He leaves, he's all excited. She stays, and she's like, I want to be tested too. They're like, okay. So they contact George. He got her Queen Bee Vice stamp. He was working with his dad already. They thought she maybe would want to help. So in getting prepared, they modified her Queen Bee stamp to work with the Weekend driver. So we finally get Hana transforming, which is really cool. Right before she transforms, she says, I hurt, I've hurt and it hurt a lot of people and caused many atrocities when I was Aguilera. It's time to repent for that. And I like that. I like that arc for her, that she wants to help and she wants to in a way apologize for what happened before when she was Aguilera. To the point where her rider form was called Kamen Rider Aguilera. And I kind of like it because Aguilera isn't really it is a character name. I get that. But it's not like Jin and Hirobi were their names. Aguilera kind of represents, since she's Hana now, that's her human name, Aguilera represents a demonic part of herself that she wants to take and reclaim for herself in a way. Almost, I guess, if you want to compare it, sort of like the Rey Skywalker, but way better. So she kind of reclaims the name and she transforms. Use the Queen Bee stamp. The driver has a really cool, super awesome techno jingle to it. Subvert up. The sequence is even though the suit is similar to Jean's and the driver clearly is, the sequence, the effects for it, the jingle, everything about it is completely different. And I like that a lot. I like that they didn't just copy and paste things. I love that. So she transforms, and her form I like. I do wish there's a point where the effect on her face glows right at where the eyes are at. And that showed me where the eyes are, but it's hard to see that when it's all red like that. It looks like a Cyclops, which worked for Necrom, but that's it. Usually Cyclopsy looking, helmets like that don't work, in my opinion. I don't really like that as much. But she transforms, and she's kind of a badass. She has this Kunoichi vibe because she has these twin daggers she fights with, and she kicks Phil's ass. At first she's just dodging around him, and then she's knocking him back. At one point she slides underneath an attack from him. She dodges and slides underneath like a badass and slashes at his heels as she goes by. And the final attack she does is so fucking cool. She stabs his feet with the dagger. He's and he can't move because he's he's a dickhead and he keeps fucking teleporting like a cheater. It reminded me, I thought about this yesterday when I was thinking about doing this review. In old school fighting games where you had that final boss that would just teleport everywhere and you could never hit him, or would get you in inescapable combos and always have the way to beat you all the time. I hate that shit so much. Even normal enemies in normal games that aren't fighting games that do that irritate me. And so she stabs him in both his feet down with the daggers, and then she does her fucking, final attack with the weekend driver and not destroys him, but kicks his ass. She does the the rider kick with it, and it was really cool, really 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 cool. So she kicks his ass. He of course runs away like a dog with his tail between his legs, and Daiji actually I think they ends up fighting what they call a hell Giftarian or something like that, like a super strong Giftarian that can like talk and stuff. He goes into Holy Live and it doesn't matter. He kicks his ass and nearly kills him again. And he's like lying on the ground, like crumpled in a heap, like Yamcha, basically. And the also throughout the show, throughout the episode, we're seeing that they're offering people to get stamped if they want to. I guess people are like fine becoming demons or something. I don't really know what we're doing. And also George wants to be he doesn't want to work have his lab be at Phoenix, and he brought all his stuff to the bathhouse temporarily, and so he's working at the bathhouse now. But anyway, so yeah, so that was the episode. I would probably still rate it a strong like 8.5-ish out of 10, just because Hana's debut as a writer was cool and it subverted expectations a little bit. Not that I really thought Tamaki was going to be the one. I did like the idea of when she transformed, Tamaki kind of coming with her, kind of like Vice and Ikki. But maybe at some point they'll give something to Tamaki. I hope it's not another Libera driver repaint and it's something different. Maybe they repaint the Demons driver or something with the Revice driver or something. I don't know. They don't have a lot of time and he doesn't have to, but I would be okay with it if he did. I like them because they've met the pinnacle of their character arcs when they, got their demons separated from them, and then farther a little bit for Hana, coming to terms with herself. With Sakura and becoming friends and everything, and now wanting to like help fight and everything. So yeah, I really like that. It felt earned, honestly, for her. It did not feel earned at all for Hikaru or whatever his name is to be demon. So they're not gonna. I don't think it's possible for them to make me care about him being demons over demons, especially. So next week shows Daiji getting like pissed at Ikki and stuff. So I'm guessing there's gonna something that's gonna happen with Akemi where she gets killed somehow or something. I don't know. It also shows, when we would do the buried the volcano Rex thing, and like Ikki would have the volcano stuff on, and then Vice would have the buried, ice armor on. There's something where George has like upgraded the buried Rex I want to say full bot overtime Vice stamp to let Vice be in the armored form, his ice form, and also Ikki at the same time. I wonder if it's something to try and separate Akemi from her demon or whatever the hell is going on there. But yeah, looks like Daiji getting really pissed at Ikki and pretty much everybody. So I'm wondering if they're gonna like try to work on bringing Kagero back into it. If they do, somebody had something online about making like Kamen Rider live evil, basically live evil, like having a combined form of live and evil together would be kind of cool for a final form, I guess. And it would make sense for their arc that like he has to accept that there's good and evil within him, and like to give in to his passion sometimes, as long as he can like pull himself out of it if he needs to, light side, dark side, blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm really kind of getting tired of him getting all these L's. It's really annoying, especially because like he was a decent character from the start, and I liked his whole arc of like, man, my brother got to be Revice and I didn't, and I'm mad about it. And then he gets his, emo, demon Kagero to come out and like take over him sometimes, and then like there's parts of his thing that were a good journey and really really cool with his story. And it's like ever since he got Holy Live, and really ever since his whole thing getting Holy Live, he's not had anything to do. It's like, what's the point of giving him this upgraded form if he just keeps getting his ass beat? Like, there's no point. You might as well just let him keep being, Kamen Rider Live and everything instead of being the Holy Live thing, because it's just as powerful, clearly, if he keeps getting his ass beat this much. So, anyway, kind of bothers me with that. So I probably would give it about 8.5 out of 10. Still enjoyed the episode. Still pretty high up there on my list for Rider. I don't know if it'll still be in my top 5. I'll have to see how this next few episodes going into the final, stretch here to the end go. But let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of this week's episode of Revice? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you in the middle? Are you pissed about Daiji? What did you think about Hana becoming Kamen Rider Aguilera and her suit and everything? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, for commenting, for sharing, for everything, subscribing, all of it. I really do appreciate you guys. Also, my Down Brothers review is up. If you guys want to watch that, I should have that up by the time I'm recording this. I should have that up as well. They should be going up at the same time about. But let me know what you guys think. I really appreciate you guys so much. And as always, stay hooked on damn Hanshin. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.